so that the public can still attend and tune in if they would like. So that is going. And then I need to read our hearing script. This basically just covers the hearing, the procedure of the hearing. Then we'll jump right into it. So this is the November 17th, 2021 session of the Zoning Hearing Examiner docket. My name is David Sturkey. I'm the Zoning Hearing Examiner for the City of Cincinnati, and I'll preside over this hearing. The case before us today is case number ZH20210162. The purpose of this hearing is to allow applicants and any opposing parties to testify and to offer and refute evidence and testimony. This hearing will follow the rules found in the zoning code and the supplemental rules of the Zoning Hearing Examiner. All testimony and evidence that an applicant or any opposing party wishes to offer must be presented at this hearing unless someone has submitted evidence or testimony in the form of writing prior to this hearing. The hearing will proceed as follows. The applicant, the applicant's attorney, or the applicant's agent will first present the applicant's case. If there were anyone here from the public, they would have an opportunity to speak after the applicant had presented its case. I'll give the zoning plans examiner, Wes Munzel, an opportunity to add any testimony that he would like. In the event that any party testifies or offers argument in opposition to this application, the applicant shall have an opportunity to rebut that testimony and or argument offered in opposition. And then finally, the applicant will have an opportunity to make a closing statement. So for our purposes here today, I'll give Mr. Stevenson, Mr. Becker, and Ms. Ray an opportunity to provide any testimony about this application, about this project. Typically, folks will give me some background on the project, what they plan to do and sort of why it's appropriate and why I should grant the conditional use in this case. And you guys can orient that argument or that presentation however you would like. One or all of you can speak. I'll give Wes a chance to add anything and then give you guys a chance to make any other remarks. I'll have some questions along the way. And then after all presentations have been made, I'll close the hearing and then decisions should be expected within 2 weeks. I may limit or exclude any testimony that I deem irrelevant or outside the scope of the application being considered. I may interrupt any speaker to ask questions or to make any comments. I may also refuse to consider hearsay testimony or documents. That's generally evidence you want to introduce that consists of a statement made by someone who is not present at this hearing. In the event of any technical difficulties or unforeseen circumstances with our video conferencing technology, we'll do our best to troubleshoot those on the fly. But to the extent there is some defect in the tech that prevents us from meaningfully going forward with this hearing, I may continue or postpone the hearing at my discretion. Okay. Last thing I need to do is just swear in all of our witnesses. So if you intend on providing any testimony here today, making any statements, asking any questions, doing anything other than just strictly observing the hearing, then you need to be sworn in. So if that is you, if you could raise your right hand, I need everyone to answer out loud. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you shall give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
I do.
Okay, great. Thanks, everyone. Okay, so who's going to be taking the lead here on telling me about this case? Okay, Ms. Ray, the floor is yours.
So 6549 Montgomery is at the corner of Montgomery Road and Kennedy Avenue in the heart of Kennedy Heights. It's in a business district that's zoned CCP. Unfortunately, on this property is a purpose-built pony keg, basically a drive-through market that doesn't meet the zoning and has become vacant and undesirable. It is purchased by the Kennedy Heights Development Corporation for the purposes of developing affordable senior housing. We would be buying 3 adjacent properties. We're in the process of buying the second and negotiating on the third. So ultimately, this property will be raised and redeveloped. However, in the meantime, we have a mortgage on it. We're paying for snow plowing and maintenance and utilities because it's a perfectly viable building that would be very expensive to tear down now. So we're trying to operate the building, but unfortunately a purpose-built pony keg, which is basically a big metal garage with 2 garage doors at either end, doesn't have very many practical uses. We tried over the winter to use it as, or during COVID, to use it as a drive-through, like a food truck drive-through, a food truck operated from inside. And that crashed and burned. We have had it on the market, and most of the uses that people are coming to us for as a tenant are undesirable uses, such as storing cars there. And we already have that problem in Kennedy Heights, big lots full of wrecked cars. This group came to us with an artisan use. They build custom cabinetry and wood furnishings. It's a perfect fit for our arts district. We have the Kennedy Heights Arts Center across the street, and the Ohio Woodturners Guild is adjacent. So for us, this is the perfect tenant. They would be indoors. They don't need to use the outdoor space. They would operate during business hours. It seems like the perfect fit. The building is just a big cement floor. There's no air conditioning. I mean, it's kind of just a tough sell for anything other than storage. So to have this useful purpose, to have people coming and going and maintaining the property for us is a big win.
Okay, great. Will there be retail sales here, or is this just simply a workshop?
It's simply a workshop.
Okay. Okay. Anything else, Ms. Ray, right now?
If you have any questions.
Sure, I do, but I'm going to give Mr. Stevenson and Mr. Becker an opportunity to add anything and hear from Wes first.
No, I think that was a very succinct description of what our activities would be there. And I agree as well. I'm excited at the possibility of being near the Wood Turners Guild and some of the other operations in the area. We're both nearby residents as well. So, neighborhood wise, it makes a lot of sense for us. And I'm in Silverton, he's in Madeira, but we're excited to be a part of the Kennedy Heights neighborhood in a productive way, and would love to use the space.
Awesome. Okay, great. Wes, anything you'd like to add?
Not really, other than what's in the report. I would just highlight that. I think the use is a good proposal, given the small scale and the fact that they're mitigating they're limiting the noise decibels. The information put in the report based on what they submitted is that the decibels, with the saws and other machinery, would be 70 decibels outside with the doors shut. So if they can do that successfully, then nobody nearby would hear them. And plus, they're only doing it during the day. Till 8 p.m. I think was what they said in their application.
And I think it would be an extreme case beyond 8 p.m. or even until 8 p.m. I think would be out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
And this property is on a corner. Across the street is a church that is only used on Wednesdays and Sundays, and across the other Montgomery is a Kennedy Heights Art Center, and then immediately adjacent is New View Windows, which is basically just a warehouse where windows come in one day and then they go back out the next day. So there isn't a nearby neighbor who really would have a problem with this. There is a 4-family building behind it. But no, they got the postcard, and they've never objected to any of the uses that we've tried to do there.
Okay. Yeah, that's typically what I'm looking at here is it compatible with the neighborhood? And is it, appropriately located and configured? And, are there any potential adverse impacts? And so it sounds like you're saying it's compatible with the neighborhood, which has other commercial uses and another wood processing or wood turning use nearby. Is that right?
Right. The Ohio Valley Wood Turners Guild is adjacent on the other corner of Montgomery and Kennedy.
Okay.
In a loading dock.
Gotcha. And adverse impacts are limited. Hours will be limited. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Any other potential adverse impacts you all anticipate as a result of this project?
They won't be creating any traffic problem. For us, it eliminates loitering on the property, littering on the property, just all the problems we have with it just sitting empty right now.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I think that's all the questions I have. Anything else from either of the tenants or Ms. Ray?
Not from us.
Okay, great. Well, yeah, I want to thank you all for your time and your testimony here today. I have had a chance to review this before the hearing today, and based on that review, Mr. Munzel's staff report and the testimony here today, I am going to go ahead and approve this application. And so I need to formalize that decision in a written opinion. That is usually, I mentioned the 2 weeks at the beginning. Usually that's what, when I know that I'm going to approve something right away without further review, That's typically what takes the 2 weeks, just that I have a queue of cases that I need to write up. And so I'll get that out to you as quickly as I possibly can. As soon as I finish that, I put it into a PDF and I email it to everybody in the hearing here today. And so you all will have it just minutes after it's complete. And as soon as you have that, you can start working with Wes on the necessary permitting.
Great.
Yeah. Any other questions about the process or anything else?
No, we
Or
really thank you. Thanks zoning, thanks Wes, and thanks Mr. Sturkey. We really appreciate your assistance with this and your just Kennedy Heights Development Corporation and the Kennedy Heights community as a whole appreciates you hanging in there with us while we try to get this corner redeveloped.
Absolutely. Appreciate the work you guys do and best of luck on the business. It seems like an exciting idea. I wish you guys all the best.
Yeah. Thanks.
If you have any questions in the meantime, feel free to reach out to myself or to Wes. Happy to answer those. Or if you just want an update on the status of the decision, the written decision, just send me an email and I'll let you know.
Yeah, I really appreciate all of the help and the encouragement.
Sure. Awesome. All right, guys. I think that's it. Hope you all have a wonderful day. We are adjourned.
Thank you very much.